which connects the market to our stock. That is nothing but, thank you, beta. That's your CAPM model. That's your CAPM model. RF plus beta into RM minus RF. Where do you get RF? 10-year GSEC rate. Where do you get beta? You get it from NSE's website. I have to answer private company in 2 minutes, right? RM, returns from Nifty over the last 2-3 years. RF is anyway defined, I have told you once. RF, this is same. RF is nothing but, right, risk-free rate. Thank you. Please understand, if you plug this in India, you will not get a number less than 20. The value I have seen with my experiences, it will vary between 20 to 24%. Absolutely. RE will vary between 20 to 24%. Right? Please note, if you are in a defensive sector, you can take 20% also. If you are in a more aggressive sector, my request is take 24%. Manufacturing, senior, SME sector should be 24%, another 2% because of, right, it being an illiquid stock. Which leads me to say, how do you value an unlisted company, which is the last thing here. Then I want to get back to my model. Any questions on this? Even reputations. Hitendra sir, any reputations? Please ask me. Prasanna sir?
This is the formula.
Correct.
But link the formula to a logical...
RF, now if you say, let us say, I'll link it up, sir. If RF is, let's say, 8%, let's say beta of the stock is, right, 0.5. Markets over the last 3 years has given you 24% returns. Cost of equity will be 8% plus 0.5 into 24 minus 8%, which is 8% plus 0.5 into, right, 16. 8% into 8% is about 16%. Once you get these values, substitute it, you'll get it. This you get from 10-year GSEC rate. Currently is around 9. Beta 0.5 I've just taken 2 so that I could multiply easier. It will be 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. RM is what the market has given over 3 years. It's so very simple. It's only applying something that you know. I hope today you'll go back and realize why somebody takes 20%, 24%. 1 minute. I'm expecting some questions, some repetitions. That's why I'm taking a pause. Don't feel odd up. If you want me to repeat, I'm okay, starting from right from the basics. Once again, sure, sir. So there are, any stock has 2 types of risks. One risk is known as stock-specific risk, which you can easily diversify away by just taking a stock which is negatively correlated. But there is one risk which affects all the stocks in a particular system, which is known as systematic risk. Beta, senior, is a measure of systematic risk. Beta is a measure of systematic risk. What is the formula for beta is nothing but it takes covariance of your stock returns, right, and index returns, divided it by the variance of index returns. Now, if you can look at a particular stock and market, you can calculate the returns, use this formula. Better still is not to use the formula. Go on to NSE's website, click on the listed company, and you get what is known as the beta that they have calculated themselves for 52 weeks. Any other repetitions? Any other repetitions? Hitendra ji? Right? Sure? Vishwanath sir, any questions? Right? Pleasure. Sir, please.
What my question is, we have a company, we are doing a valuation, we have made the predictions, we have made a prediction that turnover is concerned where then we have calculated the FCF for the respective years.
Wow.
Then for FCF, when we have calculated the terminal value, we know the risk RE, and we have calculated back. Using back, we have calculated the terminal value. The terminal value is usually in the projections for the last 5 years. In the last year, the terminal value is always added to the FCF of that year. Why it is like that? And then we get once we have added, then again we take the respective previous years the same, but the last year we are adding the terminal value.
Why do you do
that?
that?
We do that, and that's what
I will. In fact, I'll go back to the model and show it to you. Why do you do that? But before I go back to the model, how do you value an unlisted firm? जो संजय would say, ये सब बहुत अच्छा है, मेरा company listed ही नहीं है. How do you value an unlisted firm? And in fact, I think I'm speaking for many of you all here. How do you value an unlisted firm?
You said that you correlate with the benchmark with the industry.
And you have to do one small adjustment, sir. What is that adjustment is? Yeah, you correlate, correct. So, but please note, our debt equity structure may not be equal to the industry debt, right? So one important, it's not important whether I said it, it's important that you all are saying it now. One important change, which you have to remember, sir, very simple. Please look at anybody who is listed. Take his beta, excuse me, here we are, beta for unlisted companies. Take his beta, thank you for making me repeat beta for unlisted firms. How do you do it? Take beta for listed firms, available in the market. Unlever it. I'll put the steps here, then I'll give you the formula. Unlever it. What do you mean by unlever it? Is remove the effect of debt equity. Right? How? I'll give you the formula. Don't worry. Absolutely. In fact, since there are so many questions, I think I'll straight away put the formula so that you can keep connecting to it. Really appreciate the interest. Absolutely. Here is the formula. The formula goes like this. Beta leveraged is equal to beta unlevered into 1 plus 1 minus T into debt equity, where T Vishwanath sir is tax rate. I think I'll write it down for Sanjay sir. BL is levered beta, BUL is unlevered beta, T is tax rate. So you got a beta for listed firm. Put it here. All of you are here, please. Thank you. You want to calculate B unlevered. Sir, you know the tax rate, effective tax rate, Pillai sir, for your listed firm. You know their debt equity ratio, balance sheet से मिल जाएगा. इसको substitute कीजिए आप. इसको substitute कीजिए. You get unlevered beta. Good. Now you get unlevered beta. You are really taking it faster, right? Once you get unlevered beta, relever it with our debt equity ratio. Why? Because a listed company and our company will have different debt equity ratio. उनका 3:1 रहेगा, हमारा 1:1 रहेगा. Maybe ours will be 2:1. So if there is a difference, simple. Once you get beta unlevered, second step, beta unlevered को आप डालिए. Thank you. 1 plus. This time it is your tax rate, your debt equity. You got what is beta levered. End of the matter. 2 steps. 2 steps. Nobody tells these things. That's why you all feel that something nothing complicated. 2 steps. Here it is. Here is this methodology. Here is the steps. I'm open for repetition. Because if you're getting it, I like to continue through the model. So the idea also is to make it difficult. No, otherwise consultants will not be. I'll be very honest. Right? Today, I told you in the morning. Today I'm a trainer. You could ask me anything. I'll share sheets with you. Unfortunately, that maybe I don't even talk about this. Maybe I'll not be that open if I am consulting, which mercifully my colleagues tell me I am pretty open. The fact is, it's all very simple. Here it is. Right? First time formula is to calculate, right? Unlevered. Once you get unlevered, put it for yourself. You get levered beta. Sanjay sir.
What if there is no listed company?
Very good question. In your industry.
Hotels are there, restaurants are not.
They are big, they are very big.
No, those are hotels. But restaurants are not listed yet. They want to list. VJN, there is the mainland China group. They all wanting to come out with IPO offers, but not this come out.
I think it's.
Can we take an example of a similar company in a similar economy? India, you can compare maybe with Brazil or South Africa, and then take a restaurant and then.
So no, I always encourage because I think it should be interactive. And this is something a line of thought for me. I don't use this. But I would be the last person to say no to him because he comes with an experience. I need to respect.
The growth is very different in
Correct.
those countries to this. Restaurant growths are very different. It's a very homogenized market, so growth is very easy. Whereas India is not a homogenized market. In Bombay itself, every area is different. So you cannot.
So he possibly, Sanjay sir, wants another solution. But thank you for your solution anyway. I've got an answer, but I want to initiate a discussion. Because you might come with something which I would like to use it elsewhere also. But like this one was a good one. Though I've not been using it, this has been discussed a number of times. I'll take charge with your permission. Sir, we are talking of risk versus return. If you get into a case like this, which is a very extreme case, and you belong to that case, where your company is not even listed, then I would suggest that you're talking about risk versus return. You should look at, one is you have to get your rating done, which you can get it done by SMERA, Small Medium Enterprises Rating Agency, which anyway you have to do it for your loan. Okay, it makes a lot of sense to get your company rated. And then do nothing. Once you get your company rated, compare yourself with a beta of a similar rated company. Because it's all about, thank you, it's all about risk versus return. So if you get into this trap, it happened to me once, not with restaurant. In fact, right, the first time I'm talking to somebody who's into restaurant, God bless. It happened to us when you go into solars. Right? If you say solar, if I'll say I'll compare it to Suzlon, he say, right, it's a good, renewable, very good, right? But we are not same as them. Then what do you do? Right? We had to go back, and a simple exercise that we could do is, in this case, what we did is we took Suzlon. We kept Suzlon, all the, plus we looked at similar rated companies. And then we said, okay, now maybe we'll have to look at one of these values and then justify why we are looking at these values. Normally, right, when we make presentations, and especially for private placements to, right, HNIs and qualified institutional bidders, they are more comfortable when you use the rating angle. They are more comfortable using the rating angle.
But for Suzlon, you would have faced the problem because the majority of their revenue comes from wind and not from solar.
That's the point.
So then you apportion the debt also with the same
Right.
percentage.
Right. The idea is then you will have to allocate. Then the question that what somebody would ask, and so these guys like Kishore and all is very clear. Kishore is from ICICI. He would immediately ask, allocate, how did you do? Do you have the breakup? Did you talk to Suzlon? So avoid all this. Just get into rating, say similar rating, and end of the matter. Thank you for the question, Mr. Sanjay. Any questions on this before I go back to my model?
Relever it, how
Relever, Hitendra sir, relever only means relever it with, I've written it, with our D, means first you will use beta levered for the market, tax for the market for your competitor, debt equity of his, and you calculate beta unlevered, which is raw. Then you relever it means you resubstitute this with your tax rate and your targeted debt equity to get your beta levered. So एक ही formula को pleasure
the effective tax rate for the industry,
for your competitor,
for the industry in which you are operating, isn't it?
for your competitor,
You have to pay
for a listed competitor.
for a specific company.
Yes, yes. So you just take balance sheets a listed company. The challenge is, as sir asked, if there is no listed space, then it is a problem. आप लोग को I don't think there is a challenge at all in that sense. No.
To take one specific competitor, which is similar in size
Absolutely.
and similar in something.
Then it makes even more sense. Sir, if you don't want to do that and you want to take the industry, then you can go to a website known as, or you can subscribe to it, Capital Markets Online. It gives you beta for industries.
That's
So you can take that, go across, beta for industry, debt equity for industry, go with that. But I would prefer what you said. Similar company with same size, same characteristics is more preferred than industry. So industry will be, right?
Take a competitor and
Right.
then you can
Yeah, yeah.
take a mean of that. Lot of variations can be done for improvement.
Only request is wherever you are, anything that you are tweaking,
Improve yours.
there will be questions on that. Any questions, please? I'll come back to cost of equity, right? Yeah. With your Sanjay. 1:1, right? Excuse me, this is, with your permission, targeted debt equity ratio. Targeted debt equity ratio. Risk-free rate, 13%. Slightly on the higher side because I wanted to match it, but you can change it, I've told you, right? Currently it's around 9% currently. Excuse me, market risk premium, I'm directly given RM minus RF. Directly given that, okay? Equity beta is 1.33, hopefully, thanks to your discussion, we have discussed both listed and unlisted. So even this is true. We will go to the stable growth rate. What is a stable growth rate? I'll finish the assumptions. We'll have a tea break. We'll come back and knock off. Okay. Excuse me. Here comes the slide. Growth in revenue. Stable growth rate is